Good morning, everybody. Okay. Come on, stream elements, behave. Can you really just... There we go. Why were you being so uncool earlier? Welcome on in, everybody. Sorry about that. All right. I'm your host, Bullmuscle. We have an empty gym. It is 5:17 in the morning, and we have a squat day for you. So, it's going to be a pretty good time. Gonna just go ahead and get started. Go ahead and move you guys up a bit further out. That's about right. Just tall enough to where you can see everything. Nobody's in here today, so it doesn't matter as much. Go ahead and keep you guys in here for now. Although, I should say that, but yeah, we'll roll with it for a warm-up set. This is just 135. It's important. You got to start warming up. Squats in particular, so many different muscles are moving that you don't want to just dive into it. That's a good way to get hurt. All right, so the catches are too low. All right, feels pretty good. Let's do some high bars. All right, we're a little sore, which I guess makes sense. Have not had as much rest. I've foregone a rest day for a couple of reasons, actually, so we'll talk about that. See if I can pull chat up. Stream Elements app is deciding, hey, what if I decided to hide the menu option so you can't see chat or anything, or change the camera, or anything like that? It's really annoying, actually. I do not know why Stream Elements is doing this. So let's temporarily make y'all vertical so I can actually show the chat. Hey, LaFarelle, there you are. All right, good morning, everybody. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know why the menu automatically just hides itself when I go to a horizontal view. I don't know. Good morning. Welcome on in, everybody. Aloha. It is quite early here in the beautiful state of Hawaii. I'm just beginning my day. Most people here are still sleeping, and honestly, most rational people here are still sleeping. But you got to be a little crazy to want the results I want. Okay, what are we doing today? We start 275. Yeah, all right. I feel pretty warm. I could probably just jump on in. Don't need to do another warm-up set. Like 135 to 275 is not that big of a jump. That's a little more than one plate. Again, we're starting off with a high bar. 275 is not that heavy for me, so. Now, as far as views for squats are concerned, this view is mostly for my own knowledge for squat depth. So if you guys want a back view where you can see my glutes activating, just ask. I can definitely move it if that's what needs to happen. Oh, I don't know if y'all could pick that up, but spine is feeling crunchy this morning. Okay. Yep, so we're starting at a high bar for 275. The other thing I'm going to do is keep microphone. I want to put you guys Put you all right there, because if I put you all right there, you should still be able to hear me breathing. You should still be able to hear me talking pretty well. But I can use a wired headset to listen to music, which for squats I actually want to do. Music isn't necessary, but it often helps, so we can use it where we can. So welcome on in, Total Rocket La Pharrell, like that. Let's go ahead and start with, speaking of mornings, we'll go ahead and start with Good Morning / Black Friday by, I gotta, oh man, I guess DuckDuckGo. I must have accidentally butt dialed the delete button on my DuckDuckGo browser. That's annoying. Well, I guess YouTube isn't tracking me anymore. It's alright. Not a huge deal. Advertisement for healthcare.gov. I don't qualify for any of your subsidies, so you're going to offer me a $400 a month healthcare package. Yay. Glad I get employer healthcare, because otherwise that would be annoying. So this health insurance, which I basically don't need because I stay in good shape. All right. No more sticking around this lock in. Let's start with a calf set. Just to begin, I always like starting with a calf set. My reasoning being that gives you a good feel, quote unquote, for the weight before you actually squat it. Right, you shouldn't necessarily be lifting your calves very much in a squat. Okay, so that fell off. Tell me how the AV quality is from there, though. So y'all should still be able to hear me, apart from the fact that I made it fall off, which I'm a little bit more gentle. Shouldn't move you guys just a bit further forward to solve that issue. Yeah, there we go. So it kind of gives you a good feel for the weight. Your calves shouldn't be your prime mover muscle on a squat anyway, so you should be okay with doing that. All right. Let's go. There we go. Come on. That felt pretty good. this. So just camera angle. There you go. Try to do that as much as I can. Would rather not film people that consent because it's a polite thing to do. You should do it. Well, you don't need to do that. Redeem channel points. Too close though. Let's try it. So it's calves. All right. Yeah, if you want to peck bounce, just redeem the channel points for it. Ooh, that feels good on the calves. All right. So for future calf sets, I'm gonna go ahead and have a couple 5-pound plates. I'm gonna put the balls of my feet on those. What that allows me to do is get a slightly bigger range of motion. Allows me to really work the calves a little bit. So to be honest, why use 5s? 25s probably work better. Nice. All right, that's good. That's good. All right, so 3 seconds on the squats. We're gonna go for 275 again. This time we're gonna go low bar. Should be able to hit 15 reps with no problem. If we do, we're gonna go up to 295. One thing I would like y'all to do, if possible, is kind of depth check me. Make sure I'm getting to proper depth. So that's crease of the hips at the top of the kneecaps. Here's what that looks like. Crease of the hips are at the top of the kneecaps. Crease of the hips at the top of the kneecaps. Should be right about here. Should be, I'll be a few inches above the catch. I don't need to be touching the catch each time, but I shouldn't be that far from it. I'm gonna make it a kind of mood this morning. Let's hit Wake Up Dead. Raider pull. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 10, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. So for those of you who don't know, it's called a Raider chest pull. The idea was pioneered by Perry Raider, a big lifter back in the old days, the 50s and the 60s. His idea was you're spending enough time under a squat rack, right? You're spending at least a minute on the 20 rep sets, 2 minutes, 3 minutes under a heavy amount of weight. So you're all doing all that breathing with a compressive load on your body, on your spine, on your rib cage. So you come up out of the squat, then you hit this pull, try and expand your rib cage, make your chest bigger. It really does work. I'm a huge fan. Done properly, your sternum should hurt afterwards. All right. So that was 15 at 275. How was depth? Chat, if you can give me an idea. I was hitting parallel, crease in the crease of the hips, hitting the top of the kneecaps. If I was not hitting depth on any of those reps, I need to know. But if I was, I'm going to move up to 295. That felt pretty doable. I definitely feel like I had a couple reps in reserve there. So RPE was probably around a 7. I really wanted it, absolutely going balls to the wall. Could have probably gotten 20 there. It would have been miserable. And if I had done that, I wouldn't have any stamina left for the rest of the workout, but could have probably done it. It felt doable. No one said cake. Yeah, well, that's the angle y'all are getting today, I suppose. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit another set on calves. Here, we've got 295 on calves. This needs to be a little bit further out. There we go. So I'm taking these 25-pound plates. If this works, what I may do is swap it to, no, we'll keep it at this. Yeah, so the idea here is really, you put your feet, the balls of your feet up on the tip of the plate. So what this does is it allows you to get below parallel on the calf extension, and therefore gives you slightly wider range of motion, helps train your calves a little bit better. So if you're doing toe raises in the gym, hey, y'all can see those. That's sort of the purpose here. So I'll talk a little bit more news once we're done with this. There we go. This is a lot tougher. That's nice. Probably need to. Okay, I need to adjust where the plates are. A little bit too close to the rack. That's okay. Gotta fine tune it a little bit. Because a lot of the time I don't normally do that, but I should. So, someone let GG there know that if they would like a pec bounce, they have to redeem channel points for it. Luckily for him, it's like only 1,000. So it's not really, if he watches the stream and hits that follow button, he'll probably get it in a handful of minutes. Okay, so we got 3 more sets left on squats today. Depending on how this one goes, I kind of want to keep it at 295. I'm looking to be hitting sets of 15 today. I don't really have any desire to go heavier. This is supposed to be a little bit higher volume, a little bit higher on the rep range today. And then for front squats, we're going to go a little bit lower rep range, probably go around the 225 ballpark. Try and get, 5, 6 reps. If I can 6 rep 225 on fronts, I'm going to be pretty thrilled with that. Usually I'm pretty gassed after 5 back squat sets at nearly 300 pounds. Especially, again, in the 15 rep range, right? It's not quite to the super squats principle. My super squats kind of 20 rep weight is usually somewhere around 315 to 325. Of course, with super squats, right, you're doing that for only one set. So, right, the whole point with super squats is that one set is just ungodly hard. Whereas with this, right, naturally, if you were going to do 5 sets of an exercise versus one set, you have to preserve some level of stamina. As much as I love going absolutely balls to the wall, and I do, it's not realistic to expect to squat your normal 10 rep squat weight 20 times for 5 sets. If you're doing that, it's not really your 10 rep weight. That's sort of the paradox of volume. As volume increases, weight kind of has to decrease. It's either that or you have to take an incredibly long time between sets, like even on my very slow standards. All right. Oh, so news. Can I get a viewer count update? Because I'm not really going to talk about this until we got at least like 10, 12 people in chat. There's no point repeating myself. All right, so tell me what the viewer count is. I'm going to hit another set. These guys just not wanting to behave. Come on, you stay on there. Thank you very much. I promise I'm not going to constantly be taking my headphones out just for every workout, but for squats, I want music. We're playing Mechanics by Megadeth, which is basically, hey, what if we took the Four Horsemen, which is a song Dave Mustaine wrote anyway, and then we just increased the speed and made it better. It's the Four Horsemen 2.0, but Dave Mustaine is a genius, so he managed to outdo even himself. 295, we got 15 here. Come on. Sir. Pulls. Nice. Oh, whoops. Sorry. That's pretty solid. Is that a home gym? No. So I live in an apartment complex. This is the apartment gym. Part of the reason, not the only reason, but part of the reason I get up at 5 in the morning, before 5 in the morning, to come in here at a little after 5 to lift and to stream is because of the fact that it's an apartment gym. And one, I want the gym to be empty because that way I'm not, you know, disturbing anybody else when I stream. The other, I'm just realizing now the camera's slightly tilted, so we're gonna fix that. Thanks to certain someone awesome in the chat. I know how to do that now. Perfect. Yeah, I just now noticed that. Slightly tilted, bothering me a bit. Um, now, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, part of the reason I get up so early, come to the apartment gym is because, yeah, it's a shared gym. And I kind of want to not have to compete over equipment, one, and two, it's other people's gym, and while because it is public, I can record here, I can film here. I don't really. It's impolite to try and do that when everybody's trying to get a workout. It's kind of impolite to do that when everybody's looking for getting through their day. Nobody necessarily is consenting to being filmed. I don't want to sit around asking people, hey, do you mind if I film here? That's a waste of their time and a waste of mine. So my solution to that is get up early. The other reason is that there's some inconsiderate jerk in this apartment complex who rides one of them crotch rocket motorcycles, and at but anywhere, it depends on the day, between 4 and 5 in the morning, every morning I'll hear, "Vroom, vroom, and he'll freaking hammer it out of here for some stupid fucking reason. Drives me absolutely bonkers because I don't have air conditioning in my apartment. So, and because I'm fairly high up in my apartment, he'll do that. It'll wake all the birds up because all the birds on the treetops are sleeping at that point. And then they'll just squawk for like 20, 30 minutes, and I can't get back to bed. Sometimes I'll wear earplugs, but honestly, the solution I found is to bump my work schedule a little bit later and just lift at this hour. It's empty anyway, it's quiet anyway, which I prefer. It allows me to stream to you guys without any issues, so it just seems like the best of all worlds, or at least the best of the current situation. Ooh, breaking a sweat. Anyway, I hope that explains things. So I'm gonna hit a set of calves. For this one, I'm gonna back it out a bit. We'll make it slightly harder to get it off, but it'll be worth it. Here we go. There we go. Kind of the cool other thing about this too is, as a background, y'all are gonna get to see a Hawaiian sunrise. And I will say, both the sunrises and sunsets are so dramatic here, especially near the coast of the island. Right? Because in the mornings here, this is a small island chain in the middle of thousands of miles of ocean. So if you go to the east coast of the island, towards Diamond Head or Makapu'u, you'll get, on a clear day, not just the sunrise over thousands of square miles of ocean, but if it's clear enough, you can see both Molokai and Lanai. And then if you go over towards Waianae, on the west coast of the island, past the Eva mountain range, you get to see just one of the most breathtaking sunsets anywhere. I mean, I don't think, even on the clearest day possible, you can see Kauai. I wasn't able to, and it was a pretty clear day. Um, maybe, maybe you can. I was not able to see Kauai, but absolutely beautiful. There's some really nice pillbox hikes over there. For those of you who don't know what pillboxes are, they're little concrete, boxes with a gun slit kind of through them that were built during World War II in case the Japanese decided to try and invade, right? Because after Pearl Harbor, that seemed like a very distinct possibility. Thanks to the courageous actions by the men and women at the time, Hickam Army Airfield, Wheeler Army Airfield, and Pearl Harbor Shipyard, the U.S. fleet was less damaged than the Japanese had hoped and was able to turn around pretty quick, recover pretty quickly, and fight off the Japanese at Midway. And after Midway, the odds that the Japanese were going to attack Pearl or anywhere in Hawaii again progressively decreased. Do people mind you talking to the chat? I don't think so. Most of them have music or headphones in. And I mean, right, other people chat in the gym, like, just talk story or have a conversation or, You know, if somebody's lifting with a partner, maybe encouragement, words of motivation. I think, right. I think me talking to chat is not uh, a particularly bothersome thing to do. So I think if people are taking issues with that, that's more on them. I think I go out of my way to really try and be polite with the way I stream. If I'm getting here at this hour and I try to keep the angle away from capturing anybody else in the background, I think people can cut me some slack for talking to chat. I don't think I'm talking that loud either. Hard to tell when I have headphones in, I'll grant, but come on. You know, there is, I think there is a fair compromise line. I certainly try to tread on the more polite side of that, even so. Yeah. Okay, so we've got two more sets of squat, one more set of calf, and one more set of Raider pulls. So we're gonna hit another set here at 295. If we can hit that, I might try 315 as my final set for today on squats. We'll see. But for this, I definitely need music. Such a nice voice. So I appreciate that. And I know audio quality is actually surprisingly, this turned out to be a very nice surprise. Audio quality is very good with the headphones on. I, that was a happy accident. So I try and keep them on for the most part, but the squats, no, I need to be some Megadeth or Slayer or something. All right, so do one more set. Put you guys down here. There we go. I need to have you guys on the left catch, because then if I do Raider pulls without the headphones, then you can hear me still pretty decently. These headphones are old, they're starting to fray. They're good though, they get the job done. All right, what else do we want? Look at Symphony of Destruction. I'm cool with that. Let's go, 15 reps. Strong like bull, how bad you want it? Two more, come on. Come on. Raiders. 6, 2. Nice. Woo. Heart rate hitting 150 there. I'm definitely working hard on those squats. But I did hit 15. And if I did hit 15, it means I ought to try 315 for cat or for the next set. Final set for today. This is going to be hard. This is not going to be an easy set. But if I can do this, right, just talk about this for a minute, right? All these sets, even that 295 set, if I really wanted it, I probably had at least another 2 to 3 reps in the tank. If I had taken my time, you know, going 5, 6-second pauses at the top, really breathed. Stacy, am I alone in the gym? No, there's someone on the other end, but I try to be considerate. That's why I come in here so early, right? As you can tell, it's barely, you might call this dawn, really at the beginning of dawn. That's why I come in here. The thirst in chat. Y'all are wild. Speaking of that, so big modeling news. I'm gonna do a set and then we'll talk. Let's go. Final cast set. Let's go. All right. So, modeling news. It's not official yet, so take all this with a small grain of salt. But my modeling director has been in contact with some fairly big photographers and fashion designers in New York City. So there is a show coming up on September 6th in the Big Apple. It's not a guarantee yet that I'm going. It's mostly going to be ladies' fashion. They're talking about, if it's a bigger show, having a couple guys. And they're interested in me as a candidate for that. Good news is, at 214 pounds flat, which is what I weighed this morning, I'm 2 pounds away from runway weight. Dropping 2 pounds is easy. Frankly, it can mostly be done with water weight and, you know, even a fairly mild cut of a 500 calories a day deficit. I won't know whether or not I'm flying to New York until August 28th. So next Wednesday, I should know. But until then, mm, it's anyone's guess. Hopefully it happens. I have actually never been to New York City. I have been to the state of New York, and I very much enjoyed it. Summer suits you well. Well, spell work. Given where I live, it's always summer. Volunteer for picture practice. Fear is here. Well, I do a fair amount of, right, all the posing and whatnot. I'm not going to sit here and pose right before my final heavy squat set. I'm going to rest. But basically, where I'm going with this is if you want the details on that and don't want to wait until next weekend to find out on Twitch, because I will probably stream next weekend and talk more about it then, because I'll have an answer. If you want more details, your best hope is the Discord. If you're not on there, at this point, you're missing out. There's a ton of great content I put on there. I promise you will like it. Stacy, Fear is here. I never see y'all in the Discord, and you're missing out something fierce, I promise you. That's what it sounds like. You'd very much enjoy it. Okay. Of course, the Chargers got... No, the Chargers aren't the only team that would have players get stuck in an elevator. I could totally see that happening to the Jets or the Browns as well. I mean, people get stuck in elevators all the time. Hell, my bro got stuck in an elevator in Las Vegas, and the casino he was staying at comped him like $50 in the slots for his time. He was only stuck in there for maybe like half an hour. So, speaking of cities, I have no desire to ever visit if I can avoid it. I have made my dislike for the city of Las Vegas fairly public. Not everything about the city's bad. Icebox Canyon's gorgeous, and I mean, if you're gonna go there, try to go during hockey season because the Golden Knights put on one hell of a show. But otherwise, I have absolutely. Oh, and the Hoover Dam is incredible too. Um, but apart from those three destinations, I really have no use for Las Vegas. I'm not much for gambling, and even if I wanted to gamble, I would go to New Orleans instead. Right? Las Vegas pretends to be ritzy and classy and sophisticated, but it just comes off as very chintzy. Like, I'll put it this way. Las Vegas is the, not to get political, but Las Vegas is the Donald Trump of cities. Very much a lot of gold paint and glitz and glamour underneath. Somewhat unappetizing. New Orleans is dirty as shit, but at least it's honest about being dirty as shit. All right. I'm going to focus in. I know I'm taking a long time between squat sets, but to be fair, this is going to be my hard one. Question is, do I want to go Megadeth or do I want to go Van Halen? Megadeth's been going well so far. Stick to what's working. Fear is here. I do sell some modeling pictures and do some other extracurriculars on the side. Can't really talk too much about it on, well, I can, but don't like talking too much about it on Twitch. So come check out the Discord. Like, literally all you have to do is type in !Discord and you'll get the link. It's not complicated. Read the rules. Don't blow up my DM saying, hi, how are you? Because that's really rude. All right. Time to focus. Let's go, strong like bull. Come on, strong like bull. Buzz by it. Peace out. Buzz by it. Ouch. That was hard. All right. Thanks, Big Red. Appreciate that. What do you mean Discord won't add you? That doesn't make any sense. Is the link broken? I know it's not. Because I've had literally hundreds of people use that same link. Oh wait. What am I doing? Sorry, I'll. No, I know the link's not broken because I've had hundreds of people use that link. If you're saying why it won't friend request you, I mean, look, okay. Like when you say it won't add you, well, does it mean you can't get on the server? Does that mean you can't type anything? Okay. You say that I hate being tech support. This is always annoying, but if the server won't add you, ask a mod. Well, yeah. Talk to a mod, and we'll get you a spare link or something. But that really shouldn't be necessary. I would bet money the link isn't broken. If you can't talk on the Discord, it's because you have to read the rules first and agree to them by pressing the big green check mark. Yes, I do expect you to do the tiniest bit of reading before joining the Discord. I know, it's so hard. It's all right. Yeah, it's all good, but like, Discord won't add me, doesn't give me any information on how to help fix your problem. You gotta be a little bit more specific. That's like saying help. I don't know how to help you. All right. So yeah, front squats next. We'll do some good mornings, and then we'll finish on the rack with Romanian deadlift. Then we've got leg curls, leg extensions, and oh god, Bulgarian split squats. Why did I schedule this? That's miserable. All right. I'm gonna put you guys down here just for two more. Again, these are squat exercises. These are actually going to be my heaviest sets of the day. Well, technically, no. By raw weight, 225 is less than 315. This is 225 on a front squat. For those of you who don't know, why would you do front squats? Well, front squats are really, really good for hitting your quad muscles. The reason being, right, with a back squat, especially with a low bar back squat, as I do them, because I'm tall, you're putting the weight further back, which makes it more glute emphasized, more hamstring emphasized. The front squat, the weight is naturally positioned much further forward, so your knees will go over your toes a bit more. You have to be more upright in the torso, and as a result, it's going to be a more quad dominant exercise. It also means you cannot do a front squat at the same weight you can do a back squat at, unless you've got some really, really, really unusual leg construction. Honestly, I do think there's a little bit of masochism in me. There's no other reason one would put up with the amount of abuse I do in the gym. I think every hard lifter is like that. Okay, so every time I use DuckDuckGo for my browser because I like privacy. But what I've noticed is every time I clear my browser history, I get this really annoying, just syrupy saccharine sweet ad for dog food for Hills. It's the one with the annoying female voice that says, "Science did that." And I'm like, every time I see this product, like I want that company to fail. I hate that ad so much. And it's just spam. Like I constantly get it. I don't own a dog. I don't know why I get given that. It's just so annoying. All right, let's go. We'll try for 6. We'll see how we go. think. Ooh. Okay, that was hard. We're sticking a 5 on that. I don't think I got 6 in me. Oh God, we got 3 sets of this. Oh God. What does doggy says? No, it's that annoying ad. I don't know how good the product is. I don't really care. I don't own a pet. God, it's just the most annoying, like, I don't know, it's got that it's got that smug liberal trust the science, which really, when I say that, I mean trust my dogma attitude to it. It's just like, what do you mean by that? Is it scientifically proven to be better than other dog food? I don't know. The ad doesn't say. Is it, do scientists recommend it? Or was it just scientifically formulated? Because fucking every brand is. It's just, I just hate that ad for some reason. And it just gets spammed all the time. Man, I'm a glutton for punishment. Thanks, LaForelle. Yeah. So at the end of the first modeling shoot a couple weeks ago, I got invited to a catamaran party, and I was informed that the dress code was all white. So I had to stop by just a Walmart and get whatever pair of white shirts I could. Turns out they're really comfortable and they're great for the gym. The ladies on the boat seemed to like it when I got wet in these, though. Can't imagine why. All right, let's pick up the pace a little bit more here. The Actually, I say the hardest sets are over, but these next 2 are actually going to be pretty difficult as well. We've gone only about 15 sets in, so we're about halfway through the workout. But these are all the slow, heavy sets, right? Predictably, they're going to take a little bit longer. Leg curls and leg extensions always move a bit quicker, as do Bulgarians. Because you're going for hypertrophy, and it's not a giant compressive load on the top of every muscle in your body like squats are. This is a bit easier, but I've just chosen, I mean, that's 8 sets of squats, then 3 Romanian deadlifts. That's a lot in one day. And then Bulgarians on top of that, because I think I am a masochist of some kind. Let's go over hitting Running with the Devil by Van Halen. It's always a good choice for slow, low rep sets. Oh, come on. Music, don't be like. There we go. Come on. Oh, that was hard. Ouch. God, that 6th one was brutal. All right. Uno más. And then we are actually done with the heavy stuff. For RDLs today, I'm gonna go maybe a little bit off of maximum gas effort. Probably try 225. Uh, really go for the stretch, go for hypertrophy, stretch out them hamstrings and glutes. I don't think there's a lot of value in hitting, you know, 6 rep set on Romanian deadlifts after all of that. As I could, but yeah. Mr. Unlimited Selections, nice. Can I get a view count? One of y'all would be so kind. She's still trying to figure out whether or not this is the best time to stream. I think it is. By the way, I don't have a ton going on today, so I may go hit the library, but I also may do another stream a little bit later in the day. Probably just a little chatting, a little talking story, a little old school RuneScape. Haven't done it in a while. Just sounds like it would be fun. Also, I got a killer deal on protein powder the other day. Went to Costco, saw they knocked down the normal price of the powder from $63.99 to $49.99. In retrospect, I regret not buying more than one bag. I really probably should have bought 3 or 4. I just didn't feel like spending $200 out of pocket that day for protein powder, that'll take me months to get through. And I use protein powder almost every day. There's nothing special about it. It's just a very convenient way to get a high amount of protein. My favorite thing to do is make something I call protes, which is skim milk, right? Peanut protein, a little bit of creatine, protein powder, and rolled oats. I soak the oats in the milk and protein powder mixture overnight, let them absorb all the flavor, and it's like overnight oats basically, but with an incredibly high protein count. Oh, usually I'll go 8 ounces of rolled oats, 8 ounces of rolled oats, 2 scoops of protein powder, 2 tablespoons of peanut protein, and 12 ounces of milk. And so it's between 700 and 750 calories and about 78 grams of protein, give or take a few. So it's got a really nice blend of protein, carbs, and a little bit of fat. Not much, but just enough. And it's just I love the way they taste. I like the texture. It's kind of soggy and mealy, and I don't know, it just reminds me of I don't know, it tastes like dessert to me. I don't know, maybe I'm screwed up for that, but it just also gives me loads of energy because it's got all those carbs. And the nice thing with oats is that since there's a fair amount of fiber, it keeps me fuller. So highly recommend it. Chocolate protein powder and peanut butter is the goated combination. Right now I actually have cookie dough, or cookies and cream rather. So I mix the cookies and cream and peanut butter, and that's actually pretty solid too. It's a mix of very good flavors. Haven't tried vanilla yet, although you can do something else really cool with vanilla. You can mix vanilla protein powder with flour, eggs, or a mix of eggs and egg whites if you really like high protein content, and milk, and a little bit of just a tiny bit of butter. Mix it together to make a pancake batter, and it's these high protein pancakes, right? I know you can go to the store and buy like those Kodiak ones. Those are so expensive for the protein you get, and doesn't take you much more time, and it's way cheaper, right? Flour is about the cheapest thing you can buy, especially if you buy it in a 5, 10, or even 20-pound sack. So there's a lot of benefit to doing it that way. And living in the most expensive state in the union, obviously using things like flour, oats, beans, powdered milk, right? It's a good way to keep your grocery costs under control, which out here is crucial. Because if you're not careful, you can rack up $500, $600, $700 a month for groceries without even trying. And obviously, that's not something I'm very keen to do because I like financial efficiency. All right, last set. C18, awesome. That's good. That's definitely good. So the reason I asked that is because, again, being in Hawaiian time, uh, there's no time zone that really works so where I can actually please all of my audience. Because I've got my big audience bases are East Coast, West Coast, Central, basically the entire continental US with the exception of the Rockies and Alaska. Um, Europe, like usually Britain, but also some Central Europeans, and Australia. And naturally, there's just no way for me to hit all of those three time zones without getting up and streaming at like 3 in the morning, which I'm just not going to do. And even then, that would screw over the audience in California. So, if I start at 5, it's 8 a.m. West Coast, 11 a.m. East Coast, uh, 5 in the afternoon for Europe. Australia, you're kind of getting the short end of the stick. I'm sorry. Can try something a little bit later in the day for y'all. Is that way you have a morning stream with me? But there's just, again, there's only so much I can do. All right, last front squat set. Man, even for a Saturday morning, it's empty in here. I love it. Oh, okay. Here we go. I took 7 minutes of rest on this. That's unacceptable. I better hit 6 reps here. Come on. Honestly, I probably could have got the 7th there. I'd rather keep it moving. That was pretty easy, actually. So the extra rest does work. Okay. No more music. Now I can actually focus on keeping y'all in here and actually talking. I appreciate y'all's continued patience in this regard. All right. Now it's time for good mornings. So, why would you do a good morning? Well, a good morning helps work out your abs, your lower back, but especially your glutes and hamstrings. Properly done, a good morning works a little bit like a Romanian deadlift. You're not bending your knees as much as a squat or as a conventional deadlift. You're really looking to, stretch out those hamstring muscles. And for this, especially since nobody else is here, you're going to get the square on treatment. Make sure oh yeah. Fuck them Californians. Mofu Jofu, welcome on in. Hey, Data Basics, welcome on in too. Dude, California's got 40. So, California alone has 40 million people almost. Then you've got another 7 or 8 million in Washington, another 4 or 5 in Oregon. So, that's 50 million people in terms of an audience there on the West Coast. That's more than Australia. So, I'm going to weight things properly. Probably my biggest stream base is the East Coast, followed by the West Coast, right? Europe has a large population, but I don't think I'm as well known on the European side, which is weird because you think this would be the perfect time for a lot of them, Saturday afternoon. So, for any of my Europeans in here, explain what I'm doing wrong. Am I too aggressively jingoistic American? Because that would at least make sense. Because I love this country. All right, this is 155. Let's get going. Hey, Vladdy D, welcome on in. Vladdy D, I think you're from Europe, right? Somewhere in the continent. I'm still, again, the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm talking about time zones. So I'm gonna do my good mornings facing away from the camera because the whole point is to show off glutes and hamstrings here. What you should really be able to notice is the stretch in the hamstrings and that my knees are not bent very much. So I take a low bar squat or a low bar position, about shoulder width apart. Try to bend my knees very minimally. That felt pretty good. Kind of funny that I'm doing good mornings at 6:30 in the morning. Really is a good morning. Um, Honestly, that felt really good. I think I'm going to do 3 sets of good mornings and only 2 sets of RDLs since I'm also doing Bulgarians. I think I've earned that much. Oh, you're a black guy in LA? Based. What part of LA? Because, dude, what I love about LA in particular is that, I mean, LA is huge. It's the size of Houston in terms of landmass. But you go to 3 different chunks of the greater LA metro area, and you get 3 completely different cities, right? And it's funny too, because I've been on Rosecrans there in Compton, and it's not the hood like it was in the 90s. It's actually a pretty cool place. Is there still crime problems? Well, sure, but you could say that about a lot of parts of LA. Uh, it's actually, it used to be Compton, Watts used to be the historically black neighborhoods, but now it's a lot more Hispanic. But it's a lot of, small businesses there. It's kind of cool to see because, right, as great as the rap culture that spawned out of Compton was, I mean, let's not mince words. People were getting shot, killed, robbed, all those horrific crimes, and crime isn't cool like that. I mean, right, you know, worse still, especially in the 90s, you had a lot of 3 strikes laws and zero tolerance for, things that are legal now, like, uh, you know, smoking cannabis. While I don't use cannabis myself, I certainly don't think it should be illegal. I think that's a waste of my time as a taxpayer to have policemen who really do have a lot of much more important things to do be looking for cannabis. That's dumb. Not to get political, but that one. But LA is just there's always something interesting happening in LA. Like I don't think if you go to Los Angeles, you know you're in Los Angeles. I don't think there's anywhere else. It's very unique. Honestly, it's actually in a lot of ways it's very similar to here on Oahu. I think you kind of know where you're at. There's a very good sense of place. And I've never been to New York City. We'll see if I end up going for this modeling gig, but I have a sense that New York City will be the same way. All right, next set. Oh, the other thing, key thing for this, keep your abs tight. You don't have to use a belt, I just prefer to, but if you don't tighten your abs, you can round your back, and that's how you get hurt. So you gotta have your abs tight when you do these. And that 4 stretching sound you hear is my belt. I need to get some leather cleaner for that. 3 more. There we go. Yeah, we'll do a third set of those. What's the downtown LA, South Pasadena? All right, that's pretty cool. So you're close to the Rose Bowl. Got in the Discord finally. Hell yeah. Yeah, so the Discord, um, check out all the pin messages, check out all the channels. Use the role select channel. Give yourself different roles. There's different things like there's a gaming role, an NSFW role, a sports role, all sorts of stuff. That was miles and miles better in the 70s and the early 90s. Oh yeah. So New York in the 70s was a dangerous place. Right. The city went bankrupt in 1975. And President Ford, it's one of the best things he did as president, refused to bail New York City out until the city came up with a plan to clean up its act and become financially stable again. Which the New York Daily, I think it was the Daily News, uh, editorialized with the post, Ford to city, drop dead. Ultimately, that lost him the state of New York in favor of Jimmy Carter. It's probably why he lost the 1976 election, even more than pardoning Nixon. However, both pardoning Nixon and forcing New York City to clean itself up were probably, in the long run, the correct thing to do. So, rather, it's actually it was a pretty selfless move by Ford to do that. That being said, New York City in the 1970s was one of the most dynamic places you could be for the music scene. Right, the Ramones came out of there. Aerosmith, which is from Boston originally, released its best albums while they were in New York City. Uh, my personal favorite is Rocks. It was released in 1976. Like Rats in the Cellar, like that song epitomizes New York City at that time. Um, Billy Joel released Turnstiles, right? He's originally from Long Island. Turnstiles, like the song Say Goodbye to Hollywood, at the time he was in Los Angeles trying to record, and he read the paper about New York City going bankrupt. He's like, well, New York's my hometown. If it's going down the tubes, I'm going down with it. So he went home and wrote Turnstiles, which is, I think, probably his most underrated album. I really like it. Um, it's got New York State of Mind. Literally, it's about that. Miami 2017, another great song of his, literally about New York City going bankrupt. But no, most cities in general are a lot cleaner and less violent than they were in the 70s and the 80s. And it's important to remember that because a lot of time you hear a lot of sensationalist news stories about how it's not. Anyway, got another set to do. I can't comment on your Discord. That's because you haven't accepted the rules. I don't know how many times I could say it. Read the rules. That's the big green check button to acknowledge the fact that you've read the rules. And the rules are important because the last thing I want you to do is get on my Discord and then immediately DM me with, hey, how are you? How was your day? Because people do that and it's really annoying. It's like, I literally created this Discord to answer that question to everybody instead of having to answer 10 million different DMs. I'm not trying to be rude, but it's like, it's the only way I can remain accessible to everyone. All right, let's set on good mornings. All right. Okay. Now we're going to go to Romanian deadlifts. Only got 2 of these. Start with 225, see how it feels. If it's easy, we'll go up weight. But yeah, there's no other way for me to manage it, right? If I've got 2,000 Twitch followers and 800 people on the Discord server, it's just not fair to ask me to respond to everyone via DM. I just can't do it. I don't have that much time. And right, for the people who want to privately ask me for advice or for modeling pictures or stuff like that, I have to keep that channel open. Cleveland is better. Late 60s and 70s. Spell work, welcome on in. My mic is no, my mic's in my headphones. That crackling noise, that's my lifting belt, right? So I need to get some leather conditioner for it. I just haven't done that. It's okay. 2 sets of Romanians. These I am gonna actually use lifting straps more because, right, my goal here is not so much to train my forearms, it's to train my glutes and my hamstrings, and worrying about grip is counterproductive to that. Now, do I recommend using straps on every single workout exercise that requires grips? No, because if you do that, then you become dependent on them. So, for your normal volume sets on deadlift, I recommend not using straps, but they can be useful. It really depends on how, it's a situational kind of thing. All right, so Romanian deadlift, the whole point here is you go slow, you work on the eccentric. The goal here is to have the weight right over your shins, but have your knees only very slightly bent. So when you come down, right, it should be like right here, and you should feel that pull in your glutes and your hamstrings. The point here is to work those muscles with the eccentric, okay? This is always a little bit tough to do, starting to get used to how to place the straps on. Definitely still taking a bit of getting used to on my account, but we're getting there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, if you've got Discord questions, by all means, you can also ping an admin, right? You can look up the admins and ask them for help if you can't figure it out. The admins are there to help you. You can also DM me if you really do need the help, but I'm gonna not respond to you immediately because I'm busy doing this. There we go. That's it. Two, three, four, five, six, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, that felt good. Straps really help with that. That's amazing. I think I finally figured out how to grip it right with the straps. That was the best I felt using them. That's fantastic. Felt pretty solid. We go 275 for the next set. So once we're done this set, we'll hit curls and extensions, followed by Bulgarians and abs. The straps, I mean, on Romanians typically, my grip strength is failing by the time I'm holding it for a minute on a double overhand grip. That felt super easy in terms of grip. I was really able to. It's also a mental thing, right? If you're worrying about grip, you're trying to be like, you're going to cue yourself to, you know, man up and tighten it as much as you can. You do that, you're focusing on your forearms, and you're not able to focus on your posterior chain, which is the point of this workout. Lunch break's over. All right. How do I accept in Discord? Okay. Here is here. Just DM me in Discord. Okay. Clearly you're unable to figure it out. All you got to do is click the, okay. So if you go to the rules channel, let me try and explain this one more time. I'm not trying to be condescending or anything. If you go to the welcome dash rules channel, you have to scroll up. It'll say the rules 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You read the 8 rules, and then below it says roll menu, rules, react to give yourself a roll, check, verified. You have to click the check button, and then once you do that, you'll have access to more channels. Then you can go to the roll select channel. Okay, once you go to the roll select channel, you can pick all your rolls, and that'll give you access to additional channels. I don't know how much more I don't know how much more clear I can make it. Thanks, Big Red. All right. You take care. Okay, let's go. Let's hit another set. Lived in Fullerton, Orange County. So OC is an interesting place. OC is very much very suburban. You've got some big urban hubs, so to speak, Anaheim, Orange itself. But it's mostly beachside, single-family home communities. And the trouble with OC is that because it's very suburban in nature, you're going to realize this is a bit too close. I'm going to have to back up just a touch, but y'all can see everything. Because it's a bit suburban in nature, you have to, there's a lot of pressure to build more housing there, but a lot of NIMBYism. A lot of people who don't want it, even though, right, it's Southern California, there's too much demand for the housing that's there and not enough supply. So the market will naturally force higher prices until someone builds something more economical. You have to build another population center. LA just isn't high enough density to support the amount of people who want to live there. The economy there is too good. Because the economy there is so strong, people are moving there, and because people are moving there, housing prices are going through the roof. I understand that, right? I live in Honolulu. This is one of maybe 3 or 4 cities in the country, probably 5 cities in the country that are more expensive than LA. I know here is, the Bay Area in general is, San Diego is, Boston is, and New York is. So I understand. Again, Honolulu housing prices are no joke. I will never own a house as long as I'm here. Even if I could afford it, which I can't, pretty much any house here is over $1 million. Even condos are 700,000, 800,000. But even if I could afford it, you have to pay a massive amount in taxes, HOA fees, insurance, and right, with a mortgage that size, even at a lower interest rate, you're paying a lot of money in interest. And it's just, what you're doing is you're becoming house poor. I would say unless you're already a multimillionaire, there's no value in buying housing in a place like San Francisco or Honolulu. Now, will housing prices here probably continue to appreciate? Yes, but will they appreciate at a rate faster than putting that gigantic amount of money in the stock market will? I would say no. All right, let's go. I'm Oh, watch is saying 182. That can't be right. I'm not going at 180 beats per minute. Huh, that's weird. Yeah, I definitely am not doing that. I wish. I'd be burning way more calories. Okay, let's go ahead. There we go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. That felt pretty good. God, these straps are a life changer on those sets. Okay, let's move over. Hit leg extensions now. What's up, wrinkly fruit? There you go. See, fear is here. I knew you'd get it eventually. Try and speed things up a bit. I'm going to start this set, and then while I'm resting, I'm going to go and de-rack. Since nobody else is here, it shouldn't be any problem. Let's go 240. Ooh, oh yeah. 2, 5, 6. That's 15. All right. Don't worry. I know I'm out of shot. I just have to de-rack. There we go. Y'all should still be able to hear me. If you can't, say something. Because y'all, this is why I like the Bluetooth headphones for my mic. It's hands-free. I don't have to worry about it going anywhere. 240. There we go. And we can take this over. Nice. It's okay, fear. Instead of being an idiot, right, don't call yourself an idiot, don't beat yourself up over it. But now it's your turn. You should encourage other people to join the Discord and help explain how to them. Now that you've learned, you should teach. That's a really good life skill in general. So that was pretty easy. Let's try 250. Damn, this is a lot easier than I remember it being. Normally I hold it though. That's a piece of cake. All right, I'm gonna finish de-racking. There we go. All right, all these plates are off. This is the polite thing to do. Even though nobody's here, I get away with leaving the weights on the rack. It's just not cool. So you shouldn't do it. Think about others. All right? That's what the locals tell me, the spirit of aloha. Don't confuse aloha for weakness. I think the idea behind aloha is, I know in Hawaiian it actually is like the breath of life, but it's like hospitality, politesse, which is a southerner I can get down with. Hey, Fireball, welcome on in. Good to see you as always. I appreciate that. Viewers here, definitely check out the Discord. Read the pinned messages if you can. There is a lot of people ask me, right, how do I do this? How am I able to do sets of 15 at 315 on the squat rack, right, as my final squat set? The answers, right, it's not magic. The answers are not some secret. I'm very open about how I do things, be it finance, be it weightlifting, be it diet. I do that because I want y'all to learn from me. Better still, when the student becomes the master, right? If y'all learn from me, you can probably find things that you can do better than me and then show me how to do it so I can improve. That's what I'm really trying to develop, is a positive, progress-oriented community. Because if you do that, everybody becomes better, right? That's what I'm really trying to grow. Let's go. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. 2, 3, 5, 20. Nice. Okay. Now I'll move to leg curls. I'll put you right there. 15 at 250. Start with 205 on these. Carry on. How are we doing on viewers, if you don't mind me asking? Not that it's not the end all be all. But every so often I really like knowing. And because I'm trying not to look at my phone. I keep getting blown up with a bunch of DMs. So I try to put it on like do not disturb. This is better for optics not to be doing that live. Maybe I'll like this angle. That's better. A bit lower. That's a lot better. So you can actually see the motion. Now, for these, one thing I found to be really effective, I prefer the prone leg curl machine, but I don't have that here, so work with what you got. I find it effective to sit up a little bit. I find when I do this, I could really get a good contraction on my hamstrings. And that's the purpose of this machine. The whole point of the leg curl is a leg curl machine is analogous to your legs as to a preacher curl machine or a preacher curl bench is to your biceps. The whole point is you're using leverage from a fixed point to isolate, right? So the preacher curl, you've got a pad here that forces you to just go like this. In a similar way, you've got a pad here that forces you to only bend your legs and not use any hips if done properly. There we go. 5, 6, 7. Really squeeze all the way to the top. Those last few inches are where you get all the difference on this exercise. Unusually strong today, though. That felt easy. Oops. There you go, up weight. Jump up to 235, see how that feels. That was a piece of cake. Yes, I said piece of cake. Yes, cake. It says 14, 15. What's your most embarrassing moment when working out? Okay, everyone has it. If you've, I would say, um, if you've never bonked in the gym before, it's awful. You get really cold and clammy, and it's just your central nervous system's overworked. One time I bonked doing leg press, bonked or hit the wall. Runners also sometimes hit this, and it's where you've run out of carbs. Basically, you've run out of carbs, and then you've run out of glycogen, and your body just can't produce the energy to continue using the muscles at the rate you're expending them. Uh, and I just let out the biggest fucking fart on a leg press machine. That was pretty embarrassing. Ouch. It was right in front of a pretty girl too. Ah, I hit my shin against the metal. Speaking of embarrassing, that did not feel good. Ow. Ooh, that's gonna leave a bruise. Mm, smarts. Never feels good on the shins. All right, come on. I don't feel like this heart rate monitor is always, my watch is always the most accurate heart rate monitor. It's like, it said it was at 180 earlier. Right now it's saying I'm at 70. 180 seems a bit too high. 70 seems a bit too low. Then again, I am sitting, so maybe. Oh, it feels so much better when you sit up. It's much harder too. 11, 12. 12 will do. We'll stick to 235. That felt pretty good. Ouchie. Ha. All right. So we've got 3 sets left on this. Then we're going to hit I think we'll hit the hanging leg raise, and then we'll hit the ab wheel as our abs for the day. All right. Going on about 2 hours. It's just a little past 7 in the morning here, Hawaii time. So again, I'm kind of surprised the viewer numbers. Maybe it's because other people are streaming at this time. I don't know. I haven't really looked. So it used to be when I streamed in the mornings, East Coast time, I could reliably, in South Carolina, I could reliably hit 25 to 30 viewers on aggregate. It seems like my numbers are lower out here, which I'm a little bit surprised by because I would have figured, right, in South Carolina, it tended to be that my numbers went up towards the end of the broadcast and it was like 9, 10, 11 Eastern. And that's now when I'm starting. So I figured, I don't know. It'd be fascinating to learn the analytics behind that. Let's go. I probably should have done this at lower weight. Should have gone to 220 and not 235, but oh well. All right. All we got left now is abs and Bulgarians. I'm going to do an ab set just because the leg raise machine is open, or leg raise apparatus. It's not really a machine. Also because I want to give my poor quads a little bit more rest time because Bulgarians are miserable. I hate them, but they're good for me, so I do them. Yes, so, okay. So Fireball, you probably don't know about these. What are hanging leg raises? So, leg raises are an exercise you do on a setup like this. Some people call this the Roman chair. Oh, that's still not high enough. Okay, there we go. So some people call this the Roman chair, right? The idea here, you can see the bars up there. I'm going to hang onto those and use my abdominal muscles to bring and then hold my feet horizontally. The idea here is that, right, much in the same way that a sit-up, you fix your legs and you try to bring your torso up. With this, you fix your upper body and try to bring your legs up. Hanging just makes it harder. Obviously, if you're not able to do that, and sometimes I still do this, you can use the Roman chair like that, okay? When you hang, though, it's a lot tougher. Another way you can improve on this exercise is to hold it at the top, or to take a plate with a weight belt and put it on your thighs or even your shins, or a dumbbell. There's lots of ways you can improve this exercise. That's why I like it so much. The other reason is, much in the same way that a conventional sit-up is going to work your upper abs more, this is going to work your lower abs more. And the lower abs are the hardest ones to work. In general, they're a pain in the ass. So it's really helpful. Let's go. It's not bad. So, I tried to take like a little 1 to 2 second pause at the top there. This next set, I'm going to do 2 to 3 second pause at the top. Lovely hanging leg. I need to make like a bonk command for the times the chat has been overly horny or thirsty. I feel like that. I feel like this happens way too often. If any admins are around, make that shit happen. Okay. All right. Nice set. So you can do, when you do hanging leg raises, right, that was a cross grip. You can also do an overhand grip like a pull-up or an underhand grip like a chin-up. Doesn't really make that big of a difference. Kind of up to you on whatever feels the best. Just remember, the point is to work your lower abs. So if you're struggling with grip, right, you're kind of defeating the point of this. The whole point is to work on abs. This is an overhand one. Go with a little wider grip. That was too short. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come on, hold it. 9. So the longer you hold it per rep, the fewer reps you're probably going to be able to do. That felt good though. Here's outside looks so nice. Yeah, the flora here is unique, and even island to island, it's unique. There's plenty of very Right? The whole state obviously has trees, flowers, even animals that you can't find anywhere else in the world. Um, but what you can find here, very different than what you can find on Hawaii Island, very different than what you can find on Kauai or Maui or any of the other islands. Hey, Marajas, welcome on in. All right, last set on hanging leg raises. Let's go. This one we're gonna try and hold for a 5 count. 5, 5, 2, 1, 3, 4. Come on. 5. God, that's hard. That last one really didn't count. I'm gonna call it 5 reps. Didn't really hold it for long enough. Okay. Got one more leg set, and then we're gonna hit ab wheel. Should do a beach stream. So I've thought about that. The trouble is that, so if I was gonna do it, it would be on Discord. There's a couple reasons for this. The first is that I don't want to deal with Twitch's um, rules and regulations regarding, adult content. Not that it would be adult, but that Twitch is very unfair. I think, what they will and won't allow. Amaranth can basically do whatever she wants on stream because she's a big name and therefore brings Twitch a lot of money. I'm a small fry, so I don't have that luxury. The other is that, right, with the beach stream, you're not going to have Wi-Fi. And if you don't have Wi-Fi, you don't really have uh, the ability to stay on Twitch very well. Right, with a mobile service, one, that streaming eats up a shit ton of data. And two, with mobile, you're just not going to have the same quality. And if let's say you lose service for 10 seconds. If it's on Discord, it just holds and then you rejoin and it's easy and quick. If it's Twitch, sometimes the stream will just automatically end. And where's the fun in that? That becomes really annoying. So, okay, that's perfect. Need to bring the camera up a bit. This is the right angle at least. Yeah, there we go. Excellent. Okay. These are Bulgarian singles, also known as torture. Doing these is never a fun part of the workout. Doing these as your last leg set is miserable. However, because they're miserable, they are highly effective. You will feel it in your legs if you do these properly and at a decent weight as your last workout set, especially if you've been hitting it hard the rest of the workout. Let's go. Felt pretty good, but I think I can go a little heavier. Let's try 55s next. No Duolingo, I don't want to practice right now. So you get 2 more of these, and then we'll do some ab wheel. We'll be done. It's pretty good. For a high volume squat day, getting done in just about 2 hours. What I found is I can usually get through closer to 90 minutes when I'm not streaming. When I am streaming, because I'm talking to camera, it takes me a little bit longer to recover oxygen, right? Because of that, it takes me a little bit longer to get through the workout. Leg days are also the longest, because it's just right. A squat it's a full body exercise. Let's not kid ourselves. You're using everything from your ankles all the way up to your shoulders to support that massive barbell on your upper back or your shoulders. Hey, Mikey, good to see you. We'll find your beach Wi-Fi. What does that even mean? How would you even do that? Right? Unless you wanted to get me like a Starlink package, and even then, the other thing is, right, you're out in the sun like that. I usually could bring an umbrella, but I could do a, I'd worry about the phone overheating too. There's probably ways to fix that. All right, let's go. Second set. Now notice here, I'm not using dumbbell or straps. You do want to work grip strength on some exercises. The dumbbells used for Bulgarians should probably not be so heavy that grip strength is what fails first. That felt pretty good. I think we're going to stick to 55s. Oh, one other thing I should mention. For those of you who noticed, I've been playing along with this thing, keeping track of set length, calories burned, heart rate. Thank you for helping contribute to this. Definitely been really useful as a vibe alarm. Sometimes I gotta wear earplugs to bed because of the aforementioned douchebag fart cam motorcyclist. However, that means is the old watch that y'all have seen me wear, since South Carolina days, is for sale. I posted about that on my Discord. If you want that, I can ship it to you, sell it to you for what I think is a pretty reasonable price. Willing to negotiate. I'm also willing to send a nice little handwritten letter. If I really blow up, get famous, as a certificate of authenticity. Yeah. I know there's got to be a way to do that. There's a beta test for Stream Elements that's coming out soon. So when I stream on mobile, I use the Stream Elements app. It works pretty decent. It's better than the Twitch mobile app, which is kind of garbo. Although, Mikey, I think you knew that. I don't think there's a mobile OBS. If there is, OBS, honestly, throws me problems all the time, more than Stream Elements does. The trouble is just with Stream Elements, maybe there's a layer. I bet that's probably what it is. If there's some way I can hook this up, but the other trouble point is that, right, so Bluetooth, you can hook up one thing at a time. For audio quality, I like using Bluetooth with headphones. So I'd have to figure out some way to put this on the layer without connecting it through my phone. Maybe I can find a way to use my other phone for that. I think that's probably the way to do it, but I'd have to figure out how. That one, it's a good idea. Put it in the ideas and feedback channel, because I should look into that. And if you want to look into it for me, I'd be very grateful. All right, let's go. Last set. Oh. It's a 12 set. It's so much harder. The last two are killing me. 10. Oh, God, that hurts. Oh, my legs. Holy crap. Oh, ouch. Okay. Whew. Do cat dog. I have no idea what that means. All right, let's find out if the ab wheel is available. Hit that if we can, and then that should be it. Looks like it is. So we'll go over, we'll hit the ab wheel. All right, last exercise of the day. Really, this is almost functioning a bit more as a cool down at this point, but still a really good exercise. The ab wheel, you know it. If you used it, you hate it. Let's see here. That should be about right. Let's go. Three, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do you take any pre-workouts? The answer is sometimes. I do have a canister of Bucked Up, which is just what was on sale at the GNC when I happened to be in there last. Um, so I got that. Um, what I don't do is use it every single time I come in the gym. In general, I use it on the days I stream uh, because it's a little bit harder for me to keep oxygen levels while I'm talking. So what I do is uh, use it those 2 days. Because I'm only using it 2 days a week, uh, it allows me to keep some level of lower caffeine tolerance, which makes it more effective, right? The main ingredient in almost every pre-workout is caffeine. L-citrulline, beta-alanine, all that other stuff is quite useful. Now, other workouts, I happened again go to GNC when there's a sale, so I got me some beta-alanine and some decaffeinated, it's called Pumpocalypse pre-workout. I noticed a very mild difference with that. You get a little bit of the tingles with the beta-alanine. I couldn't tell you if I got a noticeably better workout. I do notice a slightly better pump, but I'm not sure if that translates to better numbers. I would say it probably does, given that I've been on the cut. My numbers have been reasonably high recently, slightly up from where they were a few months ago. But it's hard to tell if that's an actual training effect or if that's the pre-workout or if that's what. So I don't really know is the answer. I would say you don't need pre-workout to get in really great shape in the gym. Try it. If it works for you, great. Don't get dependent on it. 2 more sets. 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11. Good question, though. Hey, thanks for the start of the stream, or the start of the watch stream. Do you take, okay, creatine? So, no, I do recommend creatine. You don't have to take much. I don't believe in creatine loading. I think for everybody but a true, like, you know, competitive athlete, creatine loading is probably unnecessary. Just take a couple grams, 5 to 10 in your, water or protein shake, whatever have you. Usually with a meal, it's best, but if you can't, no big deal. Per day, you know, closer to maybe 10 if you're a big guy like me, 5 if you're maybe, 160 pounds or whatever. Really kind of, use common sense. But creatine you can also get from natural foods, eggs, fish, beef, I believe. So it's not strictly necessary. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to. But I found that creatine is a good solution. I think it does help in terms of pulling water out of fat cells and into muscle cells. It makes you look a little bit more swole, for lack of a better term. Final set, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, come on, 3 more. 10, 11, 12. Woo, and we're done. Nice. Good work. Bring it in. All right. So, let's talk a little bit. So, pretty good workout. Oh, that was absolutely, love getting questions like that. Save the workout. Just need a moment to catch myself, recollect my breath and everything. There we go. This here. Oh, yeah, I should definitely try and get the heart rate in here. That's a great idea. Oh, come on, behave. So, see here. Pretty good training effect. It says 37-hour recovery time, optimal acute load, 1 hour, 30 minutes of lift time, almost 2 hours. So that's about a 1 to 3 ratio for rest, which is about a set every 4 minutes. Not great, but it makes sense, especially the amount of talking I'm doing. It says 1,000 calories burn. For 2 hours, I'd say probably closer to 800, but I could believe it. Not bad though. So speaking of creatine, one thing I was talking about earlier was my protein. That's oats soaked in overnight in milk, protein powder, peanut protein, and creatine. Tastes delicious. Very easy way to get your protein. I really like it. So that's my thing. I've talked about it on my diet channel. So 10 out of 10 would recommend. Very cost efficient too, because oats are some of the cheapest things you can buy. To see who's live. We got Holder, Nuno Feliciano, Opt. We have not rated him in a minute. So, to settings. Right, so I want, no, why won't you behave, Twitch? Why, this is again, it's the thing. So sometimes what Twitch will do on the app is have a little toolbar down here where you can actually get into your stream manager and, use the app. And then sometimes that just decides, hey, What if I just decided not to be there? I cannot for the life of me figure out why uh, Twitch acts like that. Uh, as for creatine, pills or powder, doesn't really matter. It's the same thing as long as it's basic creatine monohydrate. So oats and protein shakes, it just gives you carbs and it's cheap. That's the thing. Rolled oats are very affordable, which brings the cost of protein powder down because it turns your protein shake into more of a meal. Proteins are definitely up there. Favorite meal? Oh, poke. I love poke. I'm a sucker for barbecue of any sort, but especially Southern style, like Texas barbecue, brisket. Um, I like German food, Spätzle, sausages. There's very little food out there I don't like. Dim sum kicks ass. Manapuas are really good. Oh, hey, okay, so it randomly pulled up. Why did it decide to randomly pull up now? I don't understand. Twitch explain it showed up. It showed up all of a sudden. So like, so now the little toolbar's at the bottom. Why isn't that there all the time? I don't I don't help me understand Twitch. I don't get it. Anyway, we're gonna raid Nuno Feliciano because we have not uh, raided him in a hot minute. So we'll raid him. So that's gonna be it for me right now. I'm gonna start that raid. I will be live again, probably later today, actually. Favorite protein meal? Protein is pretty good. Ask me that in my Discord. I can talk a little bit more about that. Check the pins in there too. Um, yeah, I like protes. I do protein pancakes, as I was talking about. That's a pretty solid one. I make a really good high protein chili. That one's pretty solid. I make a basic chicken and rice stir fry that's really good too. Tuna salad can do that. It's pretty solid. Um, high protein, there's loads of really great high protein meals out there. It's really a question of right finding the what I call holy grail meals. So that's cost efficient, tasty, high, good macros, convenient, and sustainable. It's not easy to always find those. So I've actually started a little. I think I made a thread, but it may have canceled itself out at this point with a bunch of really good ideas for that. Absolutely. So if y'all want more, check out my Discord. If not, I'll probably be live a little bit later today with a Rest Old School RuneScape stream. But until then, y'all, make good decisions. Those good decisions form your actions. Those actions form your habits. Those habits form your values. Those values form your ethos. Be the guide star through the rough waters of life. I'm Bull Muscle. You've made it to the end of the broadcast. Much love, y'all. Come in for the hug. All right. Raid messages, Bull Rush. Hope to see you on. Uh, hope to see you on the stream. We'll go raid Nuno. Aloha. All right. See you, YouTube. Talk later.